Greetings, it's Ian from RTO here. Welcome to Pick and Mix, and this week it's in the camera's view. And as last weekend was the anniversary, the 40th anniversary of Live Aid, I thought I would go and have a look at the video, or the DVD that they made, held in two venues. In the UK it was at Wembley Stadium, and in Philadelphia at the JFK, held on the 13th of July 1985. I'm sure those of us alive remember what they were doing. I was actually at work. I was working in a home with people with physical disabilities, so we made a real big thing of it. Buffets and off-duty staff came in, and we had a bit of a party, to be quite honest, and everybody mucked in, and it was a really nice day. We even stayed to watch all the stuff after, even though we'd finished our duties. I mean, I'd finished mine by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but I was still there at some earthly hour. But it was them days. It used to just go in and muck in, and when residents wanted to go to bed, everyone would muck in and help get people to bed and etc. So it was all good fun. So that's what I was doing. I'm sure you've got lots of memories as well. So this all started after the, in '84 they had Feed the World, and it was very successful. So Bob Geldof and Mitchell thought, let's have a gig. So so here we go. So it all started at 12 o'clock. You've got Tommy Vance announced, and it was pretty cool. They come out, and the Princess Diana was there, Charles was there, and they did God Save the Queen and all that. And then starting it off was the Status Quo. You can't think of any other band to start it off, and as much as I don't like Rocking All Over the World, I think it was really good how they opened up that with Rocking All Over the World. It just set the tone of the day, I think. Then they did a little bit of Caroline, and it's not the best performance, and this was the last time that Alan Lancaster played with Status Quo until 2013. It was the last time Pete Kircher ever played with Status Quo. They did do Don't Waste My Time, but it's not on the DVD. So the next band up was Style Council. Now, I'm not a great fan of Style Council. They did the Internationalists and World Come Tumbling Down. Not the best. Then up come Bob's band, the Boomtown Rats. They do a version of Don't Like Mondays. It's a good version. Drag Me Down is all right. From the long, it's from the Long Grass and Not One. It's okay. Up next, a little cameo from Mr. Adam Ant, who did Vive la Rock. Very similar. Why didn't he do either Goody Two Shoes or even Prince Charming or Stand and Deliver? Yeah, still got Marco on guitar. Well, that wasn't the best. I thought that was a strange one to do, to be quite honest. Up next was Ultravox. The two tracks that they put on the DVD are Dancing with Tears in My Eyes and Vienna. Two great songs. Up next with Spandau Ballet. Yes. Only When You Leave and True. Not big fans of these. Didn't pay too much attention to them. Elvis Costello. He came out and did a little acoustic version of All You Need Is Love. Does anyone remember that? I don't. I thought, oh yes, of course. Then we had Nick Kershaw with a bit of Wouldn't It Be Good. What a haircut that was. He was only about 3'3", so the big hair made him look taller. Then a very, very underrated little set. They've only put one song on it, but it was Sade, and a brilliant performance of Your Love Is King. Really good. Then we had Sting, unaccompanied, and Roxanne. Oh dear, Roxanne. It doesn't sound good. Then Phil Collins come out, and he did against all odds, and then they sing Phil do Every Breath You Take. Awful. It wasn't the best, I don't think. Then a little bit of Howard Jones. Now I've seen Howard Jones and he's pretty good. Saw him at the Bloom Festival when it was free. Hide and Seek, yeah, pretty good. Then Mr. Brian Ferry come out. Bit of Slave to Love and Jealous Guy. Now, he had a very special guitar player that day. He had Mr. David Gilmour on the guitars. I remember looking at, hey, there's Dave Gilmour. Nah. And then when it was close up, I went, there, I told you so. Then Paul Young came out and he did Do They Know It's Christmas? God knows why. Then he did Come Back and Stay. And then Alison Moyet came out and did That's the Way Love Is and Every Time You Go Away. I remember seeing Paul Young when he supported Rolling Stones in 1990. Then we had the first of the Americans, and we had Bryan Adams, Kids Wanna Rock, where the satellite feed kept breaking down. Summer of '69. Yeah, it's not too bad. The reception was pretty naff, but it looked pretty good. But when you see it on the video, it looks all right. Then U2, two great songs, Sunday Bloody Sunday, and the brilliant version of Bad, where they had Lou Reed's Satellite of Love, and the girl come out, and the bit, I mean, when the crowd went do, brilliant. And then they crossed back to America, and I remember sitting watching this because it was, by this time I wasn't working, so I could sit back and chill. And it was the Beach Boys, and they picked three great songs. Wouldn't It Be Nice, Good Vibrations, and Surfing USA. Absolutely brilliant performance. Then Dire Straits come on and did two good little tracks. They did Money for Nothing with Sting doing the I Won't at the beginning, and then a pretty impressive Sultans of Swing. Introduced by Tommy Vance, and he introduces Checks for Free, it's Dire Straits, and he's that great voice he had. Then there was George Thorogood and the Destroyers, not at Live Aid, but a little clip of them. Brilliant. And then we had probably the best performance of the whole day. Of course, it's Queen. The band that used their 20 minutes to the perfection. They do a little bit of radio. They do a bit better Bohemian Rhapsody at the beginning. Goes into Radio Gaga. Freddie got the crowd whipped up. Hammer to Fall. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. We Will Rock You. And we are the champions. Best performance. Freddie had the crowd in his hand. Then we crossed to America for a bit of Simple Minds and a bit of Ghost Dancing. And Don't You Forget About Me. Brilliant stuff. Back to Wembley for Mr. David Bowie. A bit of TV C15, Rebel, Modern Love and Heroes. And then we had that Ethiopian film with the cars. Yeah, pretty cool. Then they crossed to America, and Joan Baez, brilliant, did Amazing Grace. No instruments, no thing, just a vocal. Then a bit of Pretenders. Now, who remembers them at Live Aid? They did Stop Your Sobbing, the Chain Gang, Middle of the Road. Great performance. Then we had The Who. This is the famous bit, in my generation, everything shut down. They got it back up for Love Reign Over Me. Great. Kenny Jones on the drums and John, Pete and Roger were doing the business. Then they crossed to Philadelphia again for Kenny Loggins and Footloose. Well, all right. Elton John was next in Wembley. Benny and the Jets. What a track to open with. Rocket Man. Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Kiki D, and then he brought George Michael out to do Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Back to America for Madonna, and she did Holidaying Into the Groove. Fly back to Wembley to do Freddie Mercury and Brian May did Is This the World Created. It was the best bit of the finale. And then we had the finale, Let It Be, where someone forgot to switch on Paul McCartney's mic. But for the DVD, he went and recorded it again. Then everyone else come in Band-Aid, very strange and bizarre. So that was the end of UK. So we all settled down to see what America had to offer us. And first up in America after Wembley finished was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And they do two great songs, Refugee and American Girl. Brilliant. Then we had Black Sabbath. Featuring Ozzy Osbourne. Yes, first time they played together, not very good. Bit of REO Speedwagon. Yeah, not too bad. Can't Fight This Feeling and Roll Out the Changes. Then we had Crosby, Stills and Nash, who did Teach Your Children. Then the Priest came out and did Living After Midnight and Green Manalishi. Wow. One of my favourite performances from JFK, Rob Halford and the boys. The Cars. They did just what I needed in Heartbeat City. You thought they'd have done the big hit, Drive, but they didn't. Neil Young then come out and did The Needle and The Damaged One and Nothing Is Perfect. You thought they'd have come out with the other three, but there you go. Then we had the Thompson Twins and Steve Stevens, Billy Idol's guitarist, Nile Rodgers and Madonna come do Revolution by the Beatles. It's interesting. Eric Clapton, another great thing. Phil Collins, who had flown over from Wembley on Concorde, came out and drummed for Eric, doing White Room, She's Waiting and Layla. Well, Eric and Phil are friends, so that was going to happen. Then Phil does In the Air Tonight. Duran Duran were out touring out there, so they played there, and they come out and did Union the Snake, Say Eva Prayer and Reflex. Patti LaBelle did a really interesting version of Imagine, which is pretty cool. And then Forever Young. Daryl Hall and John Oates come out and did Man-Eater. And then Eddie Kendricks come out. Now Eddie had been in a serious car accident, and they come out and do Get Ready. Absolutely wonderful. And then they do Ain't Too Proud to Beg, My Girl. You know, brilliant stuff. Then Mick Jagger comes out and does Just Another Night and Miss You. And then he brings out Tina, and they do State of Shock and It's Only Rock and Roll. Excellent. Then out come Bob Dylan with Keith Richards and Ron Wood. Now this is at the time that the Rolling Stones hated each other, and they didn't even want to perform together. So Keith, Ron and Bob come out, and they did Blown in the Wind, which is absolutely brilliant. And then we had USA for Africa. We Are the World. I couldn't stand that song. Then they did, after that you got little bits from concerts. In Australia we got In Excess doing What You Need. B.B. King, Why I Sing the Blues. Don't Answer the Door and Rock Me Baby. And then Ashford Simpson with Teddy Pendergrass did Reach Out and Touch. King of Rock by Run DMC. Cliff Richard. Then you got the dance in the thing. It was really nice to see this. Led Zeppelin didn't want their performance on the DVD, and it's understandable why, because it was absolutely shocking. Abysmal. This package is pretty good. It sort of captures the best of the day. Excellent little package. So I am going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5, because it was a very special day. You know, and you saw some great music, saw some rubbish as well, but you know, you can't expect, you can't like everything. Okay, that's all for today. We'll be back tomorrow, and tomorrow is it's a Steel Eye Span Day. I'm going to be doing the live album ranking, and then their new album, which I didn't know they'd brought out. So while I was doing research for the live albums and that sort of thing, I thought, oh no, new album. So I thought I'd do it tomorrow. So don't forget, tonight is live album. It's live stream. I'm getting confused now. Live stream tonight from 8 o'clock. So have a great day. Bye for now.